Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Srivasadi Bhaktavrinda, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. So 2.40, the sloka is Neha Vikramanasosti Pratyavayo na vidyate Salpam Apyasya Dharmasya Rayate Mahadopaya. So any small endeavor that is done in devotional service, that will definitely save us from all kind of great dangers. So what is that greatest danger which we can face? Everyone can unmute and say, what is the greatest danger that we can face?
Mataji, after getting human life, we again fall in 84 lakh species. This is a greater danger.
Yeah, especially which species?
Lower species.
Like animal. Yeah, animal, right? Okay. Yeah, so we had a breakout. We start with that breakout room now. Pratyavayana vidyate. Okay. So going into animal species of life, that's the worst. Why do you think that's the worst? Going to an animal form. Why is it said that going to animal form is the greatest danger?
They have least consciousness.
Good. They have Annamaya Kosha.
Cannot chant.
Cannot do devotional service. Yes, Avik. Yeah. Same.
Same, Mataji.
Yeah.
So they doesn't have conscience. They doesn't have conscience and they cannot do devotional service also.
Yes.
And also, there is cannot do devotional service. And also, whatever they does, there is no sin in it.
Good. There's no karma binding animals, right? It's no sin. Because they can't differentiate. They can't differentiate which is right, which is wrong. So there is no karma. If a tiger eats tiger eats a deer or something like that, there's no karma for them because they can't differentiate, right? And they can't do self-realization, or they won't be able to do devotional service. But then you might ask about Gajendra. What about Gajendra? Gajendra was an animal, elephant, right? Anyone knows about Gajendra? Gajendra Moksha. He's an animal. He could do devotional service, right? Why?
He was King Indradumna in previous life, and he was a great devotee.
Yes.
He was blessed with remembrance. Yeah.
So like Bharat Maharaj became a deer and the deer became Jada Bharat. So he could remember his previous life. So in that way, yes, Vritrasur was Chitragita Maharaj in previous life. So they are continuing from where they stopped. Gajendra was an animal, elephant, still he could do devotional service because he was Indradumna Maharaj in his previous life, as Mataji said. Good. So they are continuing from where they stopped. So it's never lost. What lost? Whatever we do, whatever simple thing, a small thing we do, it's never lost. As the story of the squirrel with Lord Ram, right? Never lost. So, Tyakta Sadharmam Charanambucham Hare. So if we leave our occupational duties and do devotional service, still we fall down, there's no loss. But there is no gain for a person who is not doing devotional service, but is a big business magnate, or he is so rich and in life. There's no use of him. It says in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Bhagavad Bhakti Hinasya Jati Shastram Japastapa Aprana Seva Dehasya Mandanam Logaranjana. Bhagavad Bhakti Hinasya. If you don't have Bhagavad Bhakti or devotional service, if you don't do Jati Shastram Japastapa, whichever Jati or whichever caste you're born, high caste, whatever caste you're born, Jati Shastram, how much of a Vedic knowledge you know, or the Shastras you study, Japastapa, how much of japa you do, or tapas you do, whatever austerities you do, it's like decorating a dead body. Like, what is the use of decorating a dead body? No use, no? Anyway, it's going to be burned or buried or whatever. It's of no use. So similarly, if you don't have devotional service, you don't do bhakti, and you are like the greatest scientist or a PhD scholar, whatever in life you are, it's just like decorating a dead body, because anyway, this body is going to perish. So devotional service is very important. So Prabhupada says you should become famous as a devotee and not as a normal person. So as a devotee, being a devotee. And so if you lose your occupational duties and surrender to Krishna, and even if you fall, it's of no waste. Why? Because you can start from where you stopped. We'll continue with 41. Vyavasayat viga bhutti eke he kurunandana bahushaka hi anantascha Udayo Avivasayinam. Those who are on this path are resolute in the purpose, and the aim is one, O beloved child of Kuru. The intelligence of those who are irresolute is many branched. Like whoever is in devotional service, they have one aim. Like Arjuna. Arjuna was the greatest Kshatriya. He had just one aim, right? The aim is what? To do devotional service to Krishna. So we have quick breakout from today early. Read verse and purport and discuss the significance of Vyavasaya Atmika Buddhi. So you have to just concentrate on this word. What do you mean by Vyavasaya Atmika Buddhi? You have to read that verse and purport, and you have to discuss the significance of this verse. And maybe you can give some examples, if you can, from the Shastras to quote, to make more clear about this verse. Everyone should have your textbook with you, the standard Bhagavad Gita as it is. Please have it. I already have in the database, but then better to have the hard copy. And this 41 sloka is little, purport is little long. Prabhupada has given a nice purport in this. So what do you mean by that? We have a Sayatmika Buddhi and some good examples. So, okay, we'll just quickly come back after that. Just 5 minutes is enough.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Mataji, I got logged out.
Hare Krishna. No problem, Prabhu.
Sorry, Mataji, because
Others are coming back. They are coming back. I closed the room. No problem.
okay, ma'am. Okay, Mataji. We were discussing actually. We got two examples as well, Dhruv Maharaj and Prahlad Maharaj, but it got suddenly stopped.
Oh, okay. But by then I closed the room. I saw your message now. It's okay. They are all back now.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. So we'll take the breakout room discussion after 5 minutes. I mean, after some time. Okay, just keep it ready. So Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya chapter 22 verse 62 also says, Krishna Bhakti karle sarva karma kridha. In the sense, if you do Krishna's devotional service to Krishna, you are as if it's like equal to doing every other karma. Like when one is awake in Krishna consciousness, he need no longer endeavor for good results in his activities. When one is situated in Krishna consciousness, all activities are on the absolute plane, where they are no longer subject to dualities like good and bad. The highest perfection of Krishna consciousness is renunciation of the material concept of life. So when you do bhakti, what happens? Vairagya also comes. Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojidaha Janadi Asu Vairagyam Jnanam Yat Brahma Darshanam. So in the sense, if you do Vasudeva Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga, if you do Bhakti Yoga, devotional service to Krishna, then Janadi Asu Vairagyam Jnanam. So you'll get Vairagya, detachment, and also Jnanam. So it's like watering the root of the tree. Can someone explain this analogy? What is the watering the root of the tree?
Hare Krishna, Masaji, Dhanvat Pranam.
Yes, Prabhu.
I'm traveling, so my voice might break, but I'll still try.
Okay.
So the watering the root of a tree is as per the purpose. If we water the root of the tree, only then the nourishment reaches the leaves and the barks. Similarly, the root of the tree is Krishna consciousness. As long as we water Krishna consciousness, the other demigods are also satisfied with our bhakti.
Good. Yeah. Any other example, the similar type? Okay, what Prabhu said is correct. Like when you water the root of the tree, the whole plant get nourished. You don't have to water the leaf, fruit separately. Similarly, when you do devotional service to Krishna, all the demigods are pleased. Yes, Avik, what is another example?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Mataji, if we give food to the stomach, all our body parts are nourished. We don't have to give food to all the body parts separately. In the similar way, if we satisfy Krishna or do Krishna Bhakti, everybody will be satisfied. Yasmin tushtim jagat tushtim.
Very good. Yes, Yasmin tushti jagat tushti. Like when you satisfy Krishna, everyone else is satisfied. You know the story of Akshay Patra, right? When Durvasa Muni came with so many disciples, but then Krishna took a drop of the food item, and everyone was like filled with satiated. Yes, Suvina Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, if you satisfy the spiritual master, it is same as satisfying Krishna. I think.
Good. Yasya prasada Bhagavad prasado, yasya aprasada nagati kutopi. If the spiritual master is satisfied, Krishna is satisfied. If the spiritual master is not satisfied, Krishna is not satisfied. So yes, that's also right, because he is the representative of Krishna. The spiritual master is representative of Krishna. So we can't directly satisfy Krishna, but we satisfy our spiritual master by following his instructions, by preaching, why are you all doing Bhakti Shastri? To become nice preachers. Taking Bhakti Shastri is not just for a certificate and share it in your status or something like that. No, it's for actually, certificate is secondary. The first thing is for self-study, swadhyay, for your self-improvement, as well as to preach. That's why we have this sloka exam and all that, so that when you preach, you can use these slokas. So these analogies, when you preach, you have to tell these analogies, these examples. And this is all Bhakti Shastri question for you, for your exam, that watering the root of the tree, feeding the stomach. So, you know, anyone know the story where all the organs went to a strike, except the stomach? No? Okay. So what happened once? All the organs were thinking like, why is this? We are doing all the work. The hand has to take the food and put it in the mouth has to chew it, and the legs has to walk to the kitchen and whatnot. All the organs are working except the stomach. Stomach, what is it doing? It's just simply sitting there and eating nicely. So all the organs thought, we are not going to work. We are going to go for a strike. So the hands, legs, everything went for mouth, everything went for a strike. So thinking that the stomach is going to suffer. And one day over, Nirjal. Second day, they started shivering. The hands could not move. The legs could not move. The tongue started drying and whatnot. So they were like, we went to a strike to put the stomach into problem and we are suffering. Then they understood it's the stomach who's actually doing all the work. You know, the digestion and absorption, everything is happening in the stomach. So that's the where the nutrients are getting absorbed and distributing to the other parts of the body. And unless you put food to the stomach, the other parts are not going to get nourished. You can't feed the hand and legs separately. Similarly, you don't have to worship the demigod separately, because Krishna says, Aham Adirhi Devana. He is the source of all the demigods. The proof is he showed in the universal form, right? That all the demigods came from him. So we just have to do devotional service to Krishna. Rest, everything is taken care. Initially, it's difficult when we come from the demigod worship to Krishna consciousness. We can't just completely neglect it. Yes, because we've been following since childhood and in family and all that. But then you can worship demigods to ask for Krishna Bhakti. That can be asked, or to take away obstacles in the path of Bhakti to Krishna, or to ask for Krishna Bhakti, you get it, but not material things. This is what Mataji said. Suvina Mataji said a nice point. Yasya prasada Bhagavad prasado, yasya aprasada nagadi kutopi. By satisfying the spiritual master, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna becomes satisfied. And by not satisfying the spiritual master, there is no chance of being promoted to the plane of Krishna consciousness. Every day we sing Samsara Dava, Manglaradi song, but we don't understand the meaning. We should understand the meaning and then sing. Then it has a double effect. Right? So we should please the spiritual master. I should therefore meditate and pray for his mercy 3 times a day and offer my restful obeisance unto the spiritual master. Ya imam pushpitam vacham pravatanti avipashita veda vedarada partha jnanat astiti vadina. So Krishna minimizes the karma kanta. Men of small knowledge are very much attached to the flowery words of the Vedas, which recommend various fruitive activities for elevation to heavenly planets, results good birth, power, and so forth. So they do fruitive activities and everything so that they get punya, right? So what are the proofs that somebody have done punya in life? Like, how do you say that this person have done a lot of punya? What are the things you look for? Yes, Avik Prabhu. You need to raise your digital hand and then answer. Or we give chance to Kirti Mataji because she didn't speak. Yes, Kirti Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. In case, a person is born very good looking or with very good health, or
Yes.
maybe in a very rich family.
Yes.
So they're all qualities that they've come back from heaven.
Okay, there's one more. There's one more. Okay, good family, good looking. Then what else he said? Yes, Avik Prabhu, can you add to it?
Mataji, if somebody is good looking, is a healthy, if he is famous, if he is knowledgeable, fame, knowledge.
Knowledge, good. Yeah, if he is well educated. So
renunciation maybe.
What is the opposite of it, Rajalakshmi Mataji? How do you know somebody have done a lot of sin, papa? The opposite, all opposite of what you have said now. No idea? I can't hear you, Mataji. Yes, Aishwarya Mataji.
Yeah, he's born in a lower family, like a dog eater's family.
Yes, Chandala family maybe.
And then he's not educated.
Yeah, he is illiterate.
He doesn't possess the wealth or the fame.
He's poor. But what is the most striking thing or the most important thing or the most worst thing that somebody have done, Papa? What worst thing happened to someone? Sharan Prabhu?
Hare Krishna Mataji, I was thinking if he's a dog eater, maybe.
Okay. But still, There's something more. Two more things. Yes, Suraj Prabhu.
He's an atheist.
Atheist. Atheistic people, yes, Papa. But then Neetu Mataji almost close. He's handicapped. Yeah, somewhere, something like that. Near to that. Yes. Any idea? Prith Prabhu.
One can die in the womb of the mother.
Huh?
One can die in the
womb of the mother. Okay, yes, very good. That person is very sinful if that person is not born, or the soul, that body who's not born and been killed in the womb of the mother, either due to abortion or might be some miscarriage happened. Yes, that person is very, very sinful. Prabhupada says that. Such souls, yes, that is one thing. Is there anything else which you can think of that to say that someone is so sinful? And what is the proof that okay, all are sinful. What is the proof that we all are sinful? Is there any proof?
Yes, Mataji.
I think Rajalakshmi Mataji, your mic, can you check it? I can't hear you at all. Can you unmute and I can't hear you.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes,
Pranam, Achyuta Keshav here. Being born in the human body exudes that we're sinful.
Not only human, we are born like anybody in the material world, right? Prabhupada says anyone in the material world, definitely we're all sinful. Why? Because we have repeated birth and death. I mean, we have come here. Otherwise, we would be in the spiritual world if we are not sinful. And the worst thing, yes, you all said the being ugly, illiterate, poor. Okay, all that is because of Papa. And also, as Prabhu said, abortion, getting aborted in the mother's womb before coming to take birth, even that is sinful soul. But there's one more thing, which is chronic disease, like chronic disease, somebody having a cancer. Purva janma kritam papam vyadi rupena jayate. Garuda Puran says that Purva janma kritam papam. So many janmas, if you done papa, Purva janma, okay, in previous janma, you did papa, then vyadi rupena jayate. It comes as disease. Like some kids are born with blindness or come, as Mother said, handicapped. Why? All this because of past karma. That's because they are sinful. Second thing is some court cases, like you have some legal implications and you keep going to the court and everything. Any case regarding that, even that is because of your sinful activity. So Prabhupada says, if you have done the sin, you have to suffer, not your father or mother or your son or daughter. No, you have to take the karma. They might have to share it because they're always with you. But then here, so punya, I was speaking about punya, like punya, because of punya, what happens? You go to heavenly planets. Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji. So does that mean that we are not supposed to be kind or generous towards the physically challenged individuals, thinking that it's their karma?
No. We should definitely help them, try to help them, but then we should not become an atheist because of that, or hate God because of that. You know what happens when you become handicapped, when you have disease and all that, you tend to blame God. Why me? No, but you don't ask it when we are happy in life or when we have all riches and everything. We never ask, why me, Krishna? Why are you giving all riches to me? But when suffering comes, it's like, Krishna, why me? Why you're making me suffer? It's because of our karma. We should understand that's because of our karma. And definitely we should help someone, try to help them to come to Krishna consciousness, because the material things help. It will not last for long. It will add punya to you. Instead, you give that, you do everything as a dedication to Krishna, Sarva Krishna Arpanamastu, and try to bring that soul. Because when somebody is diseased or handicapped, there's more chance they come to Krishna consciousness, because they are already kind of having a vairagya to the material world, because they're already in that kind of a depression state. Why I'm suffering? Why? So when somebody is suffering, like Chitraketu Maharaj, when his son died, Harsha died, that's when Narada Muni went and gave transcendental advice. And he took it. He became a great devotee. Even though he became a spirit with Prasur, he got liberated. So there was my friend who became a very successful preacher in a jail, in a prison house. Just imagine, in jail, people are just regretting for the sins they have done, and half of them might be still in that criminal background, but still there's more chance of you taking to Krishna consciousness in a jail, in a prison house. They distribute Bhagavad Gita, they distribute prasadam, give lectures and whatnot. And most of Prabhupada's disciples were also having a background from jail, right? Because they had done the sin. When they get a chance to come back to life, and then that's the right time to strike. You have to strike the iron when it's hot, red hot. So that's how a good preacher is. So we need to help those people to come to Krishna consciousness, and that way their karma, whatever karma they have done, can get nullified, and they can have a good life next. And so definitely, but we should not gain punya because of that. You help people, then there's a lot of punya. You go to heavenly planets. Here it is said, right? You go to heavenly planets, and because of that, you have good birth, power, and so forth. But what is the use of all that? Shrine punye martilogam vishanti. Once your punya is over, you have to come back to this material world. Okay. Traigunya vishaya veda nishtair punya thavarjuna. Nirdvando nitya satvasto niryoga kshema atmavan. The Vedas deal mainly with the subject of three modes of material nature. O Arjuna, become transcendental to these three modes, be free from all dualities and free from all anxieties for gain and safety, and be established in the self. So Krishna says, why are you worried about the outcome of the battle? Krishna can change your karma. Krishna can change your karma. Krishna is above karma. We think that, oh, like I did karma and I have to suffer. Even devotees suffer, right? Why does devotees suffer more? In fact, they suffer more. You see Pandavas, what not they suffered. You see Prahlad Maharaj, right? So much suffering. Why? Why is Krishna allowing his devotees suffer more, in fact? Any answer? Yes, Neetu Mataji.
Because Krishna wants to set an example to their devotees.
That's one reason. Good. You want to set an example like Prahlad Maharaj. See how my devotee is. Just see that how much of a problem he had. He still didn't leave devotion. And Pandavas, even though, so he's setting an example to all of us that see, this is how my devotees should react during sufferings. Good. That's one reason. That's just one reason. Avik Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Another reason is that the sins of the devotees gets nullified. All the previous sins, the karma and everything gets nullified, and so that he may return to Bhagavad Dham or get to your devotional service.
So Krishna is fastening their process to liberation, right?
Yes.
By making them suffer. Good.
Yes.
Bring karmas faster. Dipti Mataji also say that. Kirti Mataji says they can think of Krishna even more better. Good, good. Because when Kunti Maharani have prayed like that, Vibhata Shantu Tat Shashvat Tatra Tatra Jagat Guru Bhavadar Darshanam Yetsyat Apunar Bhavadarsanam. First canto, 18th chapter, Kunti Maharani prays Kunti Stuti. In that she says, Vipata Shantu Tachashwar. Let it keep coming. Distress keep coming. Okay, I lost my husband Pandu in young age. I have 5 kids, and then I suffered so much. And my Bhima was given poison, and what not happened to her, right? Kunti Maharani suffered so much. She's like, let suffering keep coming. Why? Bhavadar darshanam syat apunar bhavadarshanam. Because every distress, I keep getting your darshan, Krishna. So don't leave us and go. I want you to be with us. Let suffering keep coming, but we can't pray like that. But as Prabhu said, yes, no, as Mataji said, Kirti Mataji, yes, we can think of Krishna more and more. Tivrena Bhakti Yogena, you can do more sincere devotion service. What is the other reason why Krishna's devotees are suffering? Enhancing karma so that they get liberated. Because if you're supposed to take 50 lives and suffer the karma, Krishna makes you suffer in one life so that quickly you can go back home, back to Godhead. As you take money from your bank balance gets decreased. Similarly, as you keep suffering, your karma gets decreased, your bad karma. So you don't have to take rebirth again. So Krishna is quickening your process to liberation so that you go back to him quickly. Yes, that's one reason. To glorify the devotees, yes, to put an example, to set an example, that's good. Yeah. Okay, what is the other reason? It's Krishna's special mercy. Tattena kambam susamikshamanam bunjana evatma kridam vipaka ritvak papupir vidata namaste jive re mukti pade sadhayapat. It's Krishna's special mercy on the devotee with the sufferings is there coming to the devotee so that the devotee become quickly eligible for liberation. Dayapak, he becomes a right candidate to get liberated. Okay, so Krishna keeps giving, and also to make us remember remind that this material world is not a permanent place to stay. Just imagine we don't have any sufferings and we're doing our Krishna conscious activities very nicely, and we're chanting our rounds nicely, and we are doing all devotional things. We are so happy to live in the association of devotees and everything. But if there is no problems, then we become settled here. We feel like, oh, this is my place. This is a permanent place. I'm Dukhalayam. Actually, we won't understand this is Dukhalayam. So Krishna makes us understand you are in the material body. There will be suffering wherever you go in any part of the world. You keep going, you keep traveling here and there. Sometimes we feel, no, we need to go to Gulf foreign countries and life is going to be much better there. And when you go there, you know the suffering there. And those people think, oh, it's better to be back to India and be here. So many places we feel like, oh, I'll be happy there, happy here. No, we're not going to be happy because this world is made so. It's Dukhalayam Shashvatam wherever you go. So Krishna is making you remember, even though you're a devotee, Krishna is making you remember, remind that this place is not for you. Just go back to the spiritual world. So Krishna gives special mercy to the devotees and make us understand that if you think you're suffering, that means you're advancing in Krishna consciousness. If you think you're really happy in life, that means you are getting adjusted to those material things in life. So the Vedas deal mainly with the subject of three modes of material nature, and Arjuna, Krishna says you become transcendental to the three modes. Yavanartha udapane sarvadha sampluto utake tavan sarveshu vedeshu brahmanasya vijanata. All purpose served by a small well can at once be served by a great reservoir of water. Similarly, all purpose of the Vedas can be served by one who knows the purpose behind it. So what is the purpose of studying the Vedas? Why are we studying Vedas? What is the main goal? Sharan Prabhu.
To become Krishna conscious. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
To know
become
Krishna.
A pure Vaishnava.
Yeah, to know Krishna, right? Vedas sarve ahameva vidya. Once Srila Prabhupada was approached by the Vedantists, all Vedic scholars, and the Chaturvedis, and Krishna, Prabhupada had a conversation. So Prabhupada, they had a lot of conversation, and they were jealous of Prabhupada's victory, because Prabhupada's philosophy is very simple, right? Very simple. And they went and argued, and Prabhupada's like, just wait. What did you conclude? What did you conclude by studying of your Vedas? So many years you wasted, and you were studying Vedas. What is the conclusion? Who's the absolute truth? Who's the Supreme Personality of God? They could not come to a conclusion. They were like, no, Vedas say that, Vedas say this. And there was Saraswati, who was 5-year-old girl, Malti Devi Dasi, Mataji, and then she came running, and Prabhupada asked, who's the Supreme Personality God? And she said, Krishna is the Supreme Personality God. So Prabhupada's like, a 5-year-old girl can understand Krishna is the Supreme Personality God. And you studied all the Vedas and you could not come to the conclusion of the Vedas. What is the purpose behind studying the Vedas? Vedaisya sarver ahameva vedyo vedanta krit veda videva chaham. Krishna says in the 15th chapter, 15th sloka Gita, that what is the use of studying Vedas is to know Krishna. If we are not knowing Krishna, then we are missing the point, right? The purpose of studying Vedas is to know Lord Krishna. Lord Chaitanya was also asked by a great Vedic scholar, Prakashananda Saraswati. He was a Mayavadi sannyasi, and he asked him, why are you not studying the Vedanta Sutras? So what is the purpose of studying Vedas? Is to know Krishna. So what is the purpose of studying Bhakti Shastri? Is to know Krishna in detail, in depth, so that we become fixed in Krishna consciousness. So the best purpose of Vedanta philosophy is served by inoffensively chanting the holy name of the Lord. And the highest Vedantist is a great soul who takes pleasure in chanting the holy name of the Lord. Because all the Vedas, the conclusion is we should do devotional service. The 6 questions put by the sages in Naimisharanya, the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, first chapter, says that what is the essence of all the scriptures, or what is good for the human? But what is good is bhakti. And what is the essence of all scriptures is a devotional service that we need to do, devotional service to Krishna. Karmani evadikaraste ma phaleshu kadashana ma karma phala hetu bo mamte sango akarmani ma phaleshu kadashana. Krishna will give the results. It's not us who's doing. So Krishna says you have the right to perform your prescribed duty, but you're not entitled to the fruits of action. We do our karma and the results Krishna gives. Ma phaleshu katashana. So Arjuna, you fight. I will decide whether it's a victory or a loss or whatever it is. Right? So never consider yourself the cause of the results of your activities, and never be attached to not doing your duty. So we should not get attached to the fruits. Okay, what karma yoga is that? Does anyone know? Not getting attached to the fruits of the activities. Which karma yoga is that? You can put in the chat also. Yeah, Prabhu got it right.
Nishkama karma yoga.
Good, nishkama karma. Nishkama, in the sense you're not getting attached to the fruits of the activity. So when you do that, there is no bondage. Okay, you get liberated. Okay. So, karmani evadikaste. So Arjuna's eligibility is to work. We suppose we can plant the seed of sow the seed, but the fruit, Krishna decides. Ma phaleshu kadashana. So whenever this applying it in life is a little difficult, but we should understand that Krishna is the one who's giving the results, but we are not entitled to the fruit of the results. So here the Lord says you cannot stop your work, neither you can enjoy the activities, the fruit of your activities. The work is on the spiritual plane. That is akarma. Yogastha kuru karmani sankam tyaktva dhananjaya. Siddhi asidhyo samodva samatvam yoga uchyate. Why is Arjuna called Dhananjaya? Somebody who never answered. There's a group of devotees who keep answering, but is there anyone who never answered today?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Now I can hear you. Yes.
Raj Lakshmi. Can I?
Yes, why he is called Dhananjaya?
Yeah, because he helped his elder brother Yudhishthira in sacrifice, helping wealth.
Yeah, to bring wealth, no, for the sacrifice. Yes. So that's why he's called Dhananjaya. He have won over wealth. And performing a duty equipoised to Arjuna, abandoning all attachment to success or failure, such equanimity is called your yoga. So Krishna is like, don't think about the victory, or don't think what is going to happen to the end results of the battle. Just do your karma. Yogasto kur karmani sange tekta dhananjaya siddhi asiddho samo bhutva samatva yoga uchyate. So if he's telling you have to perform a duty equipoised, don't get attached to success or failure. The result Krishna will give. Lord Krishna now directly says to Arjuna, you should fight for the sake of fighting because he desires that battle. Why does Krishna desire the battle? Why do Krishna want this battle to happen? Why didn't Krishna stop it? Why Krishna wanted the battle?
Hare Krishna Mataji. You want?
We give chance to others. Yes. Anybody else who never answered today? You need to be active in the class. Otherwise, this is Bhakti Shastri session. That's why we have small group of devotees. Less than 20 is allowed in every Bhakti Shastri class so that there's interaction between devotees. Others don't know? Okay. Yes, Sharon Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji. According to me, to establish dharma, that truth always triumphs, wins, no matter how strong the enemies or adharmis are.
Yes, that's one thing to establish dharma. Rajalakshmi Mataji.
To give liberation to all the...
To give liberation to all those who have come. Avik Prabhu.
Mataji, Krishna came to, there is a shlokna, Paritranaya sadhanam vinashaya dushchitam dharma samsthapanartaya sambhamami yuge yuge. So Krishna here came to establish the dharma because the dharma came in disciplic succession, but the disciplic succession got broken with passage of time. So it was a dharma, during the Mahabharata is like a case study. There was higher dharma, lower dharma. People were confused. Like when Draupadi was disrobed in the Sabha, so there was educated, qualified person like Bhishma, Dronacharya, but they didn't know what to do. They were confused about what is dharma. So Krishna came here to set an example and to establish the dharma.
Yeah. So that's the main reason why Krishna appeared. Okay. And here Krishna wanted to decide the battle as Vada said, is he wanted to get liberation. He wanted to give liberation to all of them. If Kauravas died at home, they won't get liberation. But because they died in the presence of Krishna, and Krishna only killed him, right? Killed them because when Krishna opened the mouth in universal form, he showed to Arjuna everyone entering his mouth. So he's indirectly giving a hint given by Krishna to Arjuna in this verse, that he's saying that you should fight for the sake of fighting because Krishna desired the battle. And indirectly Arjuna was advised to act as Krishna told. So Krishna is like nimitta matram bhava sabbi sachini. Just become a nimitta, instrument. Rest everything Krishna does. The following Krishna's dictation is the real yoga, and this is practiced in the process of Krishna consciousness. By Krishna consciousness only can one give up sense of proprietorship. One has to become the servant of Krishna or servant of Krishna. Gobe Bhakto Padagamala Das Das Das. We need to serve servant of Krishna. Karmatnyam buddhi yuktahi phalam tektva manishinaha janmavanda vinirmukta padap gachanti anamayam. By thus engaging in devotional service to the Lord, great sages or devotees free themselves from the results of the work in the material world. In this way, they become free from the cycle of birth and death and attain the state beyond all miseries by going back to Godhead. So what do? They become free from the results of work by engaging in devotional service. So we are doing akarma. When you do akarma, what happens? There is no bondage, or we become free from this cycle of birth and death. Okay, and then we can go back to Godhead. So Krishna says in Bhagavatam also, he says, Samashritaye padapallava plava mahat padam punyesho mudare bhavam budirvatsa padam param padam 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 yat vivadam natesh. Okay, so Bhagavatam explains, Samashitaye padapalla paplavam mahat padam punyesho murare bhavambudirvatsa padam param padam 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 yat vipadam natesha. For one who have accepted the boat of the lotus feet of the Lord, who shelter of the cosmic manifestation as famous as Mukunda, or the giver of Mukti, the ocean of material world is like water contained in a calf's footprint. Just imagine you have a big ocean to cross and you can't swim and cross. But instead, if you take shelter of Krishna, that water of material sufferings become like water in the hoof print of calf. Not even a cow, calf. Calf has small legs. And if the calf make an impression in the ground, it's going to be like this small. And if there is water in that, you can just easily cross and go. So similarly, if you have shelter of Krishna, you can cross over everything. So Param Padam, or the place where there is no material miseries of Vaikuntha is gold, not a place where there is danger at every step. So this place is Padam Yat Vibhadam. Every step there's danger in this material world, right? Every step. It need not be go out of the house. Even inside there's danger at every step. But if we take shelter of Krishna, Krishna will help us cross. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Prachahati Yadakam Sarvan Partha Manogada Atmani Evatmana Tushta Stita Pratyastatochete. Now, the qualities of Sthita Pratya is mentioned here, the Supreme Personality guarded self of Partha. When a man gives up varieties of desire for sense gratification, which arise from mental concoction, and when his mind is thus purified and finds satisfaction to self alone, then he is said to be in pure transcendental consciousness. So he is satisfied in his own self. Then he is Sthita Pratya. Sthita Dhir Muni is a question from Bhakti Shastri. He's asking, what are the quality of Sthita Dhir Muni? Dukkesha Anudvignamaha Sukeshu Vigadaspruha Vedaraga Bayakroda Siddha Muni Uchete Siddha Muni. One who's not disturbed in mind, even amidst the threefold miseries, or elated when there is happiness, and was free from attachment, fear, and anger, is called a sage of steady mind. Now, this is very difficult to attain or apply in life, to become steady, or to be not disturbed even in the threefold miseries. So what are the threefold miseries? There are three more fold miseries we are all suffering. Suvina Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, it is Adi Bhautik, Adhyatmik, and Adi Daivik.
So can you explain what is Adhyatmik?
Adhyatmik is our own, the miseries caused by our body and mind. And Adi Daivik is by the demigods, like earthquake, and Adi Daivik.
Adi Bhautik.
Adi Bhautik is by the other living organisms.
Other living elements.
Living beings.
Yeah, so these are threefold miseries, and we also have four permanent problems. What are they? Threefold miseries we have. We also have 4 problems. Sharan Prabhu.
Birth, old age,
death,
death, and
old age.
decay.
Oh, Rajalakshmi Mataji, let's follow the etiquette. Please raise your digital hand, and those who I call out only should answer. Please, let's not overspeak on other devotees. So yes, birth, death, old age. No, it's already said now. Birth, death, old age, and disease. So these are the main problems we have in life, and we have 3-4 miseries. So if somebody comes and tell you, I'm really happy in life, I don't have any problem in life, yes, lying. Why? Or they're ignorant. Why? Because these 4 things, 7 things, birth, death, old age, disease, and adhyatmic, adibhavik, adidevic kleshas is on every one of us. So everybody is suffering, right? Directly or indirectly, they don't know. Okay. So one who is not disturbed in the mind, so this is a pure devotee, like Srila Prabhupada. He was not disturbed. Whatever happened in his life, so many things happened. All the wealth was taken away and his business was closed, and he started League of Jhansi, and even that was closed, and he was not successful for 1 year in America, and he was so many struggle he went through, to heart attacks in the Jaladuta ship, whatnot. But then he was never disturbed. He was always fixed. So such person you can call as with a steady mind, sthitadir. Yata samharate chayam kurma annagnina sarvashaha indriyanindriyarteshbhyas tasya prajna pratishtitaha. One who's able to withdraw his senses from sense objects, as the tortoise draws its limbs within the shell, is firmly fixed in perfect consciousness. So withdrawing the senses, like today's Ekadashi. So we feel like having rice, but then we don't. We control our tongue, we control our senses. We feel like watching a movie, but we don't. We feel like listening to some Bollywood music, but we don't. Instead, we listen Kirtan. Instead, we see some lectures of something else, and then we try to chant the holy name. We try to take Ekadashi Prasada, or fast, or read scriptures. There's so many things. We are actually, what are we doing? We're controlling our senses. We're drawing the senses from the sense objects. So like a tortoise, withdraws into the shell. So a perfect Krishna consciousness person does that. That's the best example section is the tortoise. The tortoise, how it is withdrawing. And now 62, this is sloka, next 2, 3 sloka, 62, 63. This is very, very important slokas to understand the 8th step of fall down. Which is a very important question by Bhakti Shastri point of view also. Okay. So I want to finish this chapter today. That's why I'm going fast. Dhyayato vishya pumsa sangha teshu bhajayate sangha sanjayate kama krodho bijayate. While contemplating on the objects of senses, a person develops attachment for it. And from such attachment, lust develops. And from lust, anger arises. Okay. So like contemplating means thinking. You keep thinking, like I want an iPhone, and I keep thinking about it. I become attached to it. I keep watching people with iPhones, and I become so attached to it. Then by such attachment, there is lust. It's like lust. Okay, what is the difference between lust and love? Is it the same or it's different? Okay, lust. So I become lusty, and then I'm not able to buy an iPhone. I become angry. Dipti Mataji, what is lust and love? You have network issue? Can't hear you. Your voice is breaking. Oh, so much issue. Neetu Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Whatever is done for our own.
Mataji, I can't hear you. You have severe network issue. Yes, Neetu Mataji, continue.
Yeah, whatever is done for our own satisfaction, own sense gratification, that is called lust. And whatever we do for the Krishna, that is called love.
Very nice. So that's standard Chaitanya Charitamrita explanation. Yes, Kirti Mataji. Yeah. Love is only for Krishna, lust for everyone and everything. Yes. Atmendriya triptivancha tarana kam, Krishnendriya pridi icha tarabali prem. Atmendriya triptivancha, Atma Indriya. If you try to satisfy your senses, Atma Indriya triptivancha tarana kam. That's called kama, lust. You're going to try, oh, I like to have a gulab jamun, I eat it just like that for my senses. But Krishnendriya Priti Icha, you want to satisfy Krishna's senses. Krishnendriya Tripti Vancha, you want to satisfy Krishna's senses. Oh, I want to eat gulab jamun, let me offer to Krishna, take it as prasadam. Then it becomes love. Tarana, prem. So that's called prem or love. And real love is seen only in the spiritual world. Whatever we see here is lust, actually. And any 1% of real love in this material world, where can you see it? If at all there is 1% of real love in this material world, where can you see it? Yes, Rajalakshmi.
Mother's love, Mataji.
Good, mother's love. So it is said that a mother unconditionally, how much ever potty the child does, or how much ever kicking the baby does in the womb of the mother, or whatever the baby does, the mother always forgives, right? The mother loves him unconditionally or her unconditionally without expecting anything in return. So in that way, mother's love, it's like, at least if you can see, right, nowadays, even so many things we can hear even about mothers, but then still it is said that, so just imagine thousands of mothers, your mother's love, every one of us experienced, but 1,000 mothers' love put together, that not even 1,000, more than that is Krishna's love. We can't compare Krishna's love. We can't even imagine how much Krishna loves us. So this is lust. So lust means I am trying to satisfy my senses, not Krishna's senses. If I try to satisfy Krishna's senses, it becomes prem. So everything we can do to satisfy Krishna, we can chant well, we can take ekadashi, everything to please Krishna. Okay, we can sing nice kirtan for Krishna, we can dress up Krishna, we can make nice bhog prasadam for the Lord to satisfy his senses. And by contemplating the object of senses, you keep thinking, Dhyayate Vishaya Pumsa, Sangha Sanjobada Jayate, and you become what? Attached to it. Sangha Sanjayate, Kama Kama Krodho Vijayate. So after that, there is lust. And once my lust is not satisfied, unsatisfied lust leads to anger. Not be able to buy an iPhone, I become angry. And once I become angry, what do you have happen? Krodhabhavadi sammoha smriti vibramaha smriti pramshad buddhinasha pranashyati. Krodhat bhavati sammoha. So once anger comes, then delusion. And then sammoha smriti vibrama. There is bewilderment of memory. Smriti pramshad buddhinasha. The intelligence is lost. And buddhinasha pranashyati. So these are the 8 steps of fall down to the material pole. This is one of the important Bhakti Shastri question. So many devotees go wrong in these steps. So first step is by contemplating the object of senses. First is contemplating on the object of senses. Then you develop attachment to it. Then there is lust. Unsatisfied lust leads to anger. Then there is delusion, bewilderment, loss of intelligence, and then there is fall down to material existence. Okay. Yeah, Atmendriya Priti Vancha Tare Balikam Krishne Indriya Priti Icha Tera Premanam. Good. So that's the verse. That's in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So this is what. So we try to satisfy your sense. That's calm. So we should not have calm. Instead, we should have prem to satisfy Krishna's senses. So you understood these 8 steps. Dhyayedo Vishaya Pumsa Sangha Sanjobhayate Sangha Sanjayate Kama Kama Krodho Vijayate Krodhat Bhavati Sammoha Smriti Vibramaha Smriti Pramshad Buddhinasha Nashyati. This fall down. So this is the 8 steps of fall down in the material world, material existence. Raga Dvesha Vimuktestu Vishayan Indriyascha Atma Vishya Vidhedatva Prasadam Atigachati. But a person free from all attachment and aversion and able to control his sense through regulative principles of freedom can obtain the complete mercy of the Lord. So somebody free from all attachment, I'm talking about pure devotees. These are all who's able to control his senses, through regulative principles of freedom. So who can become a spiritual master? Who's eligible to become a spiritual master? Yes, Achita Prabhu.
The one who knows how to control all the senses.
Good. So out of all the senses, which is the most difficult to control? Which sense? Sumina Mataji?
Tongue.
Tongue? Yes, tongue. Mind? Mind, yes, Sharan Prabhu, mind is like, when all the senses are put together, the mind controls all the senses. So first sense to be controlled is the tongue. And how do you control it? How do you control the tongue?
Eating prasadam.
Good. And?
Krishna.
chanting the holy name, right? Okay, so here it is said that nectar of instruction. The other Goswami, Rupa Goswami also says nectar of instruction, verse 1. What is it? Vacho vekam manasa krodho vekam jihva vekam utaro vasta vekam etan vekanyo vishahetira sarvan apima prativimsa shishya. So when we start nectar of instruction, that is module 5, you need to memorize these verses. Don't get upset with that, but then these verses are very important to be memorized. First 4 verses from NOA and some 4 verses from NOD and Ishopanishad has to be memorized. These are for sloka exams in Bhakti Shastri. So what is it? Vacho vekam manasa krodho vekam. Vacho vekam, your tongue has to be controlled. The urge to speak has to be controlled. Vacho vekam manasa, your mind has to be controlled. Krodho, your anger has to be controlled. And your belly, genitals, everything has to be controlled. Then prativimsa shishya, you can have disciples all over the world. So that's like Goswami. Once you become a master of your sense, you become Goswami, and when you become controlled by the sense, you become Godas. So we're all Godas now, but then trying to become Goswami. So you have to control the urges of the tongue, mind, anger, belly, genitals, and all that to become free from the 3 modes, or and able to control the senses. So the controlling the senses is very difficult, but if you do engagement in Krishna service, Rishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Richade, all the senses gets controlled. Yeah, the 4 verses, but not now, Sharan Prabhu. Now we'll concentrate on Bhagavad Gita, just concentrate on what all slokas you're now supposed to memorize in Bhagavad Gita, and then we'll go to NOD and NOA. I'll share all what other slokas to be memorized. Indriyanam hi charatam yanmano anu vidyate tad asya harati pratyam vayur navam imam pasi. The best way to memorize verses is have a small notebook, a diary, where you write all the verses, and you can repeat it in every Brahma Muhurta. You get up to chant the holy name, then you have a small notebook where you write all the verses like this, okay? And then separate. And you have that notebook should be always there with you on the table or wherever it's visible. And then every day when you get up to chant your holy name, when you get up early morning, you're fresh, and then it's like very silent atmosphere, Shuddha Sattva in the atmosphere. Anything memorized, chanted at that time, it will really get registered. So every day keeps repeating the verses again and again. Hear the verses repeatedly, understand the meaning, and then try to learn. And it's very easy. As a strong wind sweeps away a boat on water, even one of the roaming senses on which the mind focuses can carry away the man's intelligence. So the strong wind can take away the boat. Similarly, right? Our mind, so many senses are there on which mind, where the focus is, it can carry our intelligence also. So Maharaj Ambarish, why is he famous for? Does anyone know Ambarish Maharaj? Not heard about Ambarish Maharaj? Santosh Prabhu?
Controlling mind, Mataji.
Yeah.
Techniques.
So what did he do? Yes. Prabhu, what did he do? He controlled his mind? How? Santosh Prabhu, yes?
Yeah, he engaged all his senses in Krishna consciousness.
Very nice. Good. So he did all the 9 devotional service together, right? 9 process. Yes, we have. So he perfected all the 9 process. Like, Shravanam was perfected by Parikshit Maharaj. He heard Kirtanam by Shukadeva Goswami. Like that, each one have mastered each limb of devotional service. But Maharaj Ambarish have mastered all the 9 devotional services. He engaged all his senses in serving the master of sense, Krishna. That's the best way to control our senses. It's no other way. Because the mind has to be given some higher cause or higher purpose so that it gets controlled, right? And the best thing is devotional service. So what did Ambarish Maharaj do? Savai mana Krishna padara vindayo. Always his mind was attached to Krishna's lotus feet, right? Vacham sivai kunda gunanivarnani. His tongue was used to glorify Krishna. Karau harir mandiramarjana disho. His hand was used to clean Krishna's temple. Shrutim Chagara Achida Satkadode. His ears were used to hear Achida Kata, Krishna's pastimes. Mukundalinga Raya Darshana Drisho. His eyes were used to see the beautiful form of the Lord. Tat Britya Gatra Sparsha Anga Sangame. His limbs were used to embrace Krishna's devotees. Granam Chatatpata Saroja Saurabe. His nose was used to smell the tulsi offered to Krishna. Srimad Tulasya Rasanam Tadalpide. His tongue was used to taste the tulsi offered to Krishna. His nose was used to smell the flowers offered to Krishna. Padav Hare Kshetra Padana Sarpane. His leg was used to go to Krishna's temple. Shiro Rishikesha Padapi Vandane. His heads was used to bend in front of Krishna. Kamam Chadasi Natu Kama Kame Yatuttamasloga Janashriyariti. So in that way, all his senses got engaged in Krishna's service. This is the verse if you want to note. 9th canto 4th chapter, verse 18 to 20. Very, very nice verse to memorize. Savai Mana Krishna Padaravi. His mind was always on Krishna's pada. Vachamsi Vaikunta. His tongue was used to glorify Krishna. And hand to clean Krishna's temple, and ears to hear about Krishna. In this way, all of his senses were engaged completely in Krishna consciousness. In that way, he could completely control or master his senses. Apuryamanam achalam pratishtam samudram apa pravishanti atvat tadvad kamayam pravishanti sarve shashantim apnodinaka amakami. A person who is not disturbed by the incessant flow of desires that enter like rivers into the ocean, which is ever being filled but is always still, can alone achieve peace, and not the man who strives to satisfy such desire. So sometimes we can see all the rivers flowing to the ocean, but the ocean is not disturbed in that way, right? It keeps filling it, but it's not disturbed. Similarly, there'll be so many thoughts coming to a pure devotee, but then he's not disturbed, right? The mind is what? Thinking, willing, and feeling, right? The thinking, willing, and feeling is done by our mind. So it's actually flow of thoughts, right? Positive and negative thoughts keep coming. But then you should not catch one thought and repeat or contemplate on it. So you should let it go. But then if you are engaged in Krishna conscious activities, then good thoughts come. Okay. So yeah, for a devotee, the senses are like a snake. For everyone, the senses are like the snake. But for a devotee, the senses are like a snake whose poisonous teeth is taken away. If you take the poisonous teeth of a snake, it's not poisonous anymore. So similarly, devotees also have senses, but it is more controlled because it's used in Krishna service. So although the vast ocean is filled with water, it always, especially during rainy season, being filled with much more water, but the ocean remains same, steady. It's not agitated, nor does it cross beyond the limit of its brink. That's also true in the person fixed in Krishna consciousness. This stage is called, what is this stage called? Getting fixed in Krishna consciousness. What are the different stages of bhakti?
Samadhi. Is it?
No. Samadhi, that is Ashtanga Yoga. Doesn't come in devotional service. The 9 stages of bhakti. Who knows?
Bhava, prema.
Good, good. Bhava, prema. But becoming fixed in Krishna consciousness is not that. What you said is the last stage, Mataji. Good. Bhava, prema. But before that, becoming fixed in Krishna consciousness. What is that stage?
Ruchi, is it?
Avik Prabhu. Ruchi, Bhava, prema is all high. Yes, Prabhu.
First one is Shraddha.
No.
Then
yes. Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha.
Bhajana Kriya.
Bhajana Kriya.
Anartha Nivritti.
Good.
Nishtha. Ruchi. Asakti. Bhava. Prema.
So which is this stage? Getting fixed in Krishna consciousness.
Anartha Nivritti, is it?
No. Anartha Nivritti means all the anarthas are washing away. The Kama, Krodha, Lobam.
Shraddha Mataji.
Ah?
Shraddha.
No, Shraddha is faith. This is the beginning. Kusamlata Mataji.
Sthavaram.
Bhava?
Sthavaram Jangam.
What is that stage? This is 9 stage. Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nivritti, Nishtha, Asakti, Ruchi, Bhava, Prema. In that, which stage is becoming fixed in Krishna consciousness?
9th stage, Prema.
No. Before Prema, we become fixed. Yes, Neetu Mataji.
Bhava.
Nishtha Mataji.
Huh?
Nishtha.
Good. Nishtha. Nishtha means becoming steady, fixed in devotional service. Yes. So Shraddha means faith, just initial faith. Then Sadhu Sangha, you associate with devotees. Then Bhajana Kriya, you start your devotional services. Anartha Nivritti, all the anarthas gets washed away. Then Nishtha, you become steady or fixed in devotional service, called Nishtha. Then there is Ruchi, Asakti, Bhava, Prema, all that comes. Esha Brahmi Sthita Partha Nainam Prapya Vimukhyati Sidvashayam Antakale Api Brahma Nirvana Ruchati. Brahma Nirvana. Okay. So that is the way of spiritual and godly life, after attaining which a man is not bewildered. If one is thus situated, even at the hour of death, one can enter into the kingdom of God. So a pure devotee will be thinking about Krishna all the time and can enter into the kingdom of God in that way. So does anyone know about Katvanga Maharaj? Katvanga Maharaj, no? No. Okay. So Katvanga Maharaj had a fight with the demigods. He had fight with the demons and he helped demigods. Okay, so the demigods Devatas wanted to kill a demon and they could not do. So Katvanga Maharaj went to the heavenly planets and helped the demigods. He was so powerful and he killed the demons and the demigods were so happy. So demigods asked, what benediction do you want, Katvanga Maharaj? You can ask anything. So Katvanga Maharaj asked, okay, I don't want any other thing. I just want to know how long I'm going to live. What is my lifespan? I just want to know how long I'm going to live. So the demigod said, we are so sorry. You're going to live only a moment. You're going to live only a moment. Okay, that's it. 1 minute. That's it. He's like, 1 minute. And then what did he do? Immediately he came back to the earthly planet, wherever he was, and concentrated on Krishna's lotus feet, just chanted the holy name and left his body. So Prabhupada says, it just takes a moment to start surrender to Krishna. You don't have to take lifetime and lifetime. Yes, Bahunam Janmanamante, it is said. But then when 1 moment is enough to think about Krishna and go back to Godhead. So Katvanga Maharaj didn't have like so much time. He just had a moment and he thought of Krishna and went back. Parikshit Maharaj had 7 days. We all have 7 days. That 7 days can come after 10 years, 50 years, 60 years. But 7 days is 7 days. That is so. Mrityu Sarva Harashaham, death can come at any time. But then when you concentrate on Krishna's lotus feet, actual life begins after completion of this material life. The real life is spiritual life, and it happens only after we complete the material life. So we are done with chapter 2 finally. So the first assignment, that is open book question of the first module of Bhagavad Gita, will be posted. Aishwarya Mother, just remind me so that I give a link on the Google link, a Google form link where you can upload the answer. I give you 1 week time by next Monday, or might be 2 weeks. You can take 2 weeks time. You need to handwrite the assignment. I'll put a question in the WhatsApp group. Okay, so you're supposed to handwrite the question. This is the open book assessment. Open book means you can read Bhagavad Gita and understand and then write it's an essay, 750 words. So you can't type it because I see many copy pasting from database, which is not right. So we need to upload this to the Mayapur Institute of Higher Education for your Bhakti Shastri degree. So please write it legibly and upload it in a name which you want it in your certificate way. So you need to upload it in 2 weeks time. So after every 2 chapters, we're going to have open book question assessment coming up. That's like you can refer and write, but then don't copy as it is. Now we'll quickly take the breakout room question. What was the open book question? I mean, breakout room. A.K. Hekurunandana, right? Okay, so who's going to say now? Room number 1. Avik Prabhu, Rajalakshmi Mataji, Kunal Prabhu, Neetu Mataji, Prit Prabhu, and Subina Mataji. Who's going to say about the breakout room discussion? Yes, fast. Someone should unmute. I think I've unmuted everyone now. Hare Krishna. Yes.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes.
One should focus with strong determination and Krishna consciousness as watering the root of the tree. As watering the root of the tree automatically distributes water to the whole of the tree. Krishna consciousness should be satisfying spiritual masters so that we can satisfy Supreme Personality Godhead. And that's it.
Okay. So that is meant by Eke Purunandana. Okay. So you are saying that how we should satisfy spiritual master and Krishna. Okay. Anything else to add? Okay, room number 2. Aishwarya Maharaj, Kirti Mata, Santosh. Yes, Deepti Maharaj.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Mataji, we were discussing Vyavasayatmika Buddhi. Here we getting that like one should be fully determined, firm, or have a total faith in Krishna. And we collect some examples from Shastras, like Prahlad Maharaj, when his father misbehaved with him and he facing many difficulties. Then also he have full faith in Krishna. Another example is Dhruva Maharaj, Draupadi, Gajendra, and Prabhupada. Like we were discussed like when he is traveling through a Jalduta and he traveled at the age of 70. So he have full faith in Krishna. And another example is Barbaric.
Okay, so that means Eke Purunantana, they are especially Srila Prabhupada. If you say that about it was his Vyas Puja recently, Prabhupada definitely, like when 1 year he was not preaching, nothing happened in America. What was he doing? Every day he used to go to the harbor, the ship where the ship parks, and he says, "Is there a boat going to India? I want to go back. I want to go back." But he still had so much unflinching faith in the holy name and his spiritual master that he was asking in the poem written in Jaladutta ship that why did Krishna bring me to America? If there was no work here, why did Krishna bring me here? Now that's what Prabhupada was constantly thinking. Why did Krishna didn't make me successful? I am 70 years old. I had 2 heart attacks. I don't have anyone here. I just had 40 rupees. And just imagine how Prabhupada underwent all that. No, but Prabhupada had so much faith in the holy name and his guru that Prabhupada knew that Krishna won't bring him to America just like that. There is a purpose. And Krishna empowered him, right? It's not easy to have 108 temples all over the world in just 10 years of preaching. Srila Prabhupada is definitely empowered, Shakti Avesh Avatar of the Lord. I mean, this is completely empowered by the Lord. So unless somebody is being empowered, you cannot do anything. So it's definitely Krishna Shakti vina nahi hua parivartan. So Krishna Shakti should be there with that person. So I feel like Prabhupada's a very nice example to have. A.K. Puruna. His concentration was fixed. He just had one goal, that to spread Krishna consciousness in the West, to print books. So this was his aim. He didn't bother what was happening externally. So yes, and Prahlad Maharaj, very nice example. You have said Dhruva Maharaj, whatever happened, at the age of 5, he went to the forest, just having one goal, to meet the Lord. Okay, nice. So that's, anyone like to add anything from the 2nd chapter or any questions, comments? Okay, so keep reading and write the assignments. Assignments are very, very important. There is no final exam for Bhakti Shastri. These assignments are all uploaded in the drive and sent to Mayapur Institute so that you get the certificate. So every assignment is very, very important, and you need to handwrite it and take a photo and upload it as a PDF document in the drive, which I'll be sharing. So Sharan Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Also from today's Ekadashi Katha, how King Harishchandra observed the Ekadashi by becoming Krishna conscious, even after suffering so much.
Yeah, can you share it, Prabhu? Can you remember that story in a short?
It happened few years ago because King Harishchandra had lost everything in his life. His wife, he had to sell his wife and his son. He had to work under a meat dog eater, and in a crematorium, he had to work basically, and taking the dead people's clothes. So one day Gautama Rishi arrived over there, and he said everything, whatever he was going through. And Gautama Rishi asked him to observe the Ekadashi, this Ekadashi, Anand Ekadashi, and he observed it, and he got relieved of all of his sins, and he became prosperous again. He became a king. Everything he got, his wife, his son, everything. I'm so sorry, Mataji, I did not say it properly.
No, nice. So yes, so every Ekadashi has its glories to be chanted, to be said. Yes. Okay, please fill that attendance form. Okay, anybody likes to add anything? Hi, Krishna. Okay, so I hope all of you filled the attendance form.
Mataji, do we have to write it in a paper?
Yeah, you have to handwrite it in a paper and then take a picture and upload. Okay. That's
Okay.
why I said no Word document, no typing is allowed, because I've seen many devotees just copy pasting, which is not allowed actually. So we have so many limitations in online Bhakti Shastri course. It's not offline. So I can't personally assess how you're progressing unless I know you personally, but others, so it's better to handwrite it, okay, legibly. Okay, so, and one more thing, the open book assessment should have a introduction, body, and conclusion. Okay, so you introduce the question and then you write the content and you conclude it. You can have sub points, you can highlight the points, you can quote verses if you like, if you know. Okay, Hare Krishna everyone. We can end.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Anchakalpadare Bashir Nabasindhi Devachi Paridhanam Bhavani Vaishnavi Vinam Anpuri Vasham Jai